Okay, welcome back to part two of the podcast. This is the soup du jour.
What's the soup du jour?
Well, it's the soup of the day.
That sounds good. I'll have that.
Well, it is the soup du jour number three. And Jacob, you are still here, right?
I am still here, as you can see.
Whoop whoop.
Yes, we just finished talking about Dune Part 2, and we're going to be doing our fill of the soup du jour. And the soup du jour is the second part of our podcast where we talk about TV, movie news, or any other TV slash film related topics. And today we're going to be talking about our top five anticipated movies of 2024. I just want to remind everyone watching live, comment right now what your top five most anticipated movies are of 2024. I mean, you can't say Madam Web anymore because that already happened. Or Dune Part 2. So anything past that, we're good to go. Jacob, want to do your top five most anticipated movies of 2024? You get first dibs.
Yes.
Just kidding.
Perfect. Perfect. Because I feel like some of these will definitely overlap, possibly, maybe. We'll see. All right. So I do have a couple that I have under the honorable mention category. The first one being a movie that I know some of us have had some things to say about the trailer that came out, but it's Godzilla X Kong, the new empire, I believe.
Okay.
I put that honorable mention just because I'm a big Godzilla fan, but I'm not sure how I feel about this movie and how it'll actually be once it comes out. But I'm definitely still looking forward to it and definitely still watch it in theaters. And then my second honorable mention movie is Transformers 1, apparently, is what they're calling it. Basically, that is kind of, I believe, a prequel. So it's going to take place on Cybertron. Um, got a pretty good cast to it already, as from what I've seen. So I am looking forward to seeing that. I've always been a big Transformers fan too, so getting to see a prequel would be kind of cool.
It's actually
All
going
right,
to
so
be animated too.
really
Yeah. They're
even
going to try
better.
to take advantage of like the whole across, what do you call it, Into the Spider-Verse movies
Mm.
and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's probably even better. It might have definitely have better visuals than what it would do if it was actually like real life, I think. But all right, yeah, moving into my actual top 5. At number 5, I have, and these are, as we know now, are coming out this year, right? So, number 5, Gladiator 2. I didn't even know that was coming out until I started making this list. So, I'm definitely looking forward to that cuz Gladiator 1 obviously instant classic movie. You can watch that whenever and it's still a great watch. Number 4 is a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, and also I saw that Conor McGregor is going to be making an appearance in it too. Roadhouse, which is
Nice.
also a remake, correct?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So I am looking forward to that movie. Number 3, Civil War. I've always kind
Ooh.
of I liked war movies and kind of seeing it play out in a civil war fashion between states in the United States. I think that'll be pretty cool. The visuals look pretty cool already in the trailers that I've seen. Number 2, I feel like this is going to be probably on all of our lists. Deadpool and Wolverine. It's probably a surprising number 2. Like, what does this guy have at number 1? I don't know. But
Uh,
number 1, just because I saw the first movie, I don't know how many years ago, but I loved it, and I've always been a fan of bad weather movies where it's like the day after tomorrow. But number 1, I'm going with Twisters with the very prestigious actor Glenn Powell. But I can't wait for
okay.
Twisters. I've been waiting for a second Twister movie for probably ever since I watched the first one, which was like early 2000s. I don't even know when. I think it came out like when did that come out? Like the 90s?
Yeah, it was in the mid 90s. I want to say like
Yeah.
97.
Yeah,
let
that's
me
like
fact
that.
check that.
right. It's
Yeah.
like the year I was born, before I was born. So I've always loved that movie, and I've always been waiting for a second one, and it's finally happening.
And it
96
looks pretty
actually.
good.
I,
96.
Yeah.
yeah, see, even before I was born.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've like, in terms of like storm chasing 2 period, like I watch a bunch of like documentaries and stuff about that. It's just always been astonishing to me seeing all the things that they do and the gadgets they come up with. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of, I don't know if they'll reference the first movie at all. It kind of seems like they're doing the same thing with the balls in the air inside the tornado, but definitely looking forward to that one.
Definitely.
Plus, oh, go
I'm
ahead.
not surprised that Twister was your number one.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, for those of you who aren't aware, actually, Jacob did do a lot of his growing up in Florida, and they get some inclement weather over there.
Oh yeah. Everything from hurricanes to tornadoes. No earthquakes though, but all the stuff from the sky, we get it all. Except for snow.
Okay.
That's a good list. I have a couple of those at least on my honorable mentions, or even straight up on my list. But yeah, we do have some comments, right, Jeremy?
Yeah. Okay. So I thought Sean was like putting his top five out there, but he just started putting a bunch of movies. I don't know if these are in any particular order. He's got Fall Guy because of Ryan Gosling. I didn't know if that was his honorable mention or number five. Then he's got Godzilla Kong. He got Joker. I forgot about Joker. Was that this year? Deadpool.
It's in the fall.
Challengers. Oh,
Challengers
is
is Zendaya.
that
Yeah.
Zendaya movie.
He simps
him that.
for Zendaya.
He wishes he was that one of those two guys in that movie. Which they spoiled the entire movie
Yeah.
in
They
the
did.
trailer, which is horrible. Trailer movie looks all right.
I think that trailer's on repeat in in Sean's household.
Gladiator for sure. He said Roadhouse, maybe Bad Boys, and then he's also got an Adam Sandler movie called Spaceman. I haven't liked an Adam Sandler movie in a long time. Probably put
Uncut,
these first dates.
Uncut Gems was good.
Oh, okay, I haven't seen it, but maybe I should.
A24.
A24.
I mean, Jacob did mention Civil War, which is a A24 movie as well.
I don't even know if A24 has done like a war-ish type movie yet, have they?
I don't know.
Ooh. They
I don't
make a
know.
lot
I'm
of
looking-
movies.
Yeah.
I want to say that I forget what streaming service is going to pick up a lot of A24. If I had to put money on it, I think Max is going to. I think they just literally started
so.
showing a lot of A24 stuff.
I think so, because I think I remember seeing like a little tab there that's just
Yes.
A24 movies.
Yeah, they have their own little section now. Okay, cool. Now I think I can kind of binge watch some of their stuff because I feel like most, if not all of their movies are pretty quality from that studio.
Yeah, there's some dark stuff in there. I just looked up A24 movies. I was like, oh yeah,
I mean, we
some
covered
good-
Hereditary.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
I feel like it's mostly like horror
Mhm.
movies or thriller horror movies, but I think pretty recently, maybe the past couple or past 3 years, they've been like branching out into different genres.
Yeah, Civil War looks like to be a much bigger scope than the usual affair. But Ken, do you want to list your top 5 anticipated movies?
Yes. I do also have a couple of honorable mentions. Well, Transformers was one, but since Jacob already mentioned it, I'll mention only because I'm very curious how the imaginative mind of who Jim John Krasinski, if is the movie that I wanted to mention. Yeah, I think he's the one that's directing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so If is on my honorable mentions list, as well as Inside Out 2. I love the first Inside Out. I kind of want to give a little bit of shout out to some of these imaginative, like animated movies as well. So yeah, those are my 2 honorable mentions. So without further ado, for my 5th most anticipated movie of 2024, I'm going to mention The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Number 4, shout out to Sean on this one, The Fall Guy, starring Ryan Gosling. Oh man. For number 3, I have Dev Patel in Monkey Man. I want to highlight this one just because watching the trailer I got John Wick vibes on this in a more primal like way, if that's even possible. I feel like it's less stylistic, and I feel like it's more gritty, if that's even possible, because I feel like John Wick embodies gritty. So I'm curious to see how Dev Patel does the whole hand-to-hand combat and weapons a la John Wick. So Monkey Man is number 3 for me. Number 2, I think we mentioned it a little bit in part 1, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, is number 2 for me. And number 1 is really basic for me, Deadpool and Wolverine. I just want a good comic book MCU movie. Yeah, we've got a couple of sprinkled in here and there with No Way Home, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but I want to see if Deadpool and Wolverine can kind of pull everything to kind of together like Loki did with all the timelines and everything. Spoiler for the end of season 2. And literally just pull the MCU back to its focus, like with good projects moving forward. So that is my list.
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm not surprised, because when I was making my list, honestly, I was like, oh, it's kind of a little barren, I feel like, for if we were thinking the whole entire year. But it makes sense because we had the strike for majority of last year. So my 2 honorable mentions. One is Hitman, starring none other than Glenn Powell. It reminds me of the movie The Saint with Val Kilmer, where he's like putting on different costumes and stuff. So the Hitman, he's a hitman. And Alien Romulus, the sequel to Alien Covenant. So I think that's still directed. I don't know if it's directed by Ridley Scott or not. So I'm a little bit excited to see what Alien is going to do next. So my number 5 is Twisters, starring none other than Glenn Powell. Number 4, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Mm-hmm. Number 3, which it's Roadhouse. I feel like it's the one that has the highest chance of being the worst out of the bunch. Yeah, I feel like I'll probably still enjoy it. Love Jake Gyllenhaal. Number 2, Deadpool and Wolverine. And for obvious reasons. And number 1, Transformers 1, because I love Transformers. And the voice cast looks awesome. Yeah. I'm a little surprised that Chris Hemsworth is Optimus Prime, but he's got a beautiful voice, so I'm down for that. Because sometimes,
beautiful voice.
As much as I love Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime, in that last movie in Rise of the Beasts, sometimes his voice acting was a little like, I love you, Peter Cullen, and your voice sounds awesome, but someone didn't direct you right, I think. Hopefully.
Oh man, but I actually did have that as one of my honorable mentions, but I mean, you guys mentioned it, so I feel like I didn't need to mention it. But yes, I shill for animated Transformers. Which is why I kind of chimed in when Jacob mentioned it, because I was really excited for that movie. Because they can go they'll have a little bit more free reign, a la the Spider-Verse soon to be trilogy. And I feel like that's literally the only thing that's keeping Sony as far as on people's good side, because their live action stuff sucks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ken, I wanted you to mention this comment, or because Sean says Loki want to watch the American Society of Magical People. Not completing the title for legal reasons. And I remember I didn't watch the trailer yet, but I remember you mentioned that you watched the trailer.
Yeah. Oh, full stop. When we were, I think this was our second meeting when we were like, oh, you know what? Let's try to at least build out the first month or so, 6 weeks of our schedule for season 7. I was just reading a title, and it was the the American Society of Magical, and I didn't realize it got cut off for a reason, because I was like, huh, that's weird. That movie. What was the website?
We
that
were on
used?
Movie Insider.
Movie Insider, and then when I actually looked it up on IMDb, I was like, oh, that's what that movie is. But when I was watching, it may have been Madam Web, actually. I actually saw a trailer for it. It actually looked pretty fun. And I was telling Jeremy on one of our screenings within the last week or so to check out the trailer whenever he gets a chance, because it's actually a fun one. And I was hoping that they would have shown it for Dune Part 2. Because, yeah, it has a lot of magical elements to it. And it's for having such a controversial type of name, it actually seems like a fun movie. That would probably be like towards the bottom of my top 10 list, I guess, or maybe within my top 15 list of most anticipated. It seems like a fun movie to watch, despite the title. All I'll say is watch a trailer. You'll know what I mean.
Okay. Jacob, you might need to look up this movie if you don't know the full title.
I did.
Okay.
I looked it up. I was curious.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when we were doing our scheduling, Ken was like, "Oh, what's this movie?" Because they didn't fill out the entire thing on Movie Insider.
I was like,
Uh-huh.
the
'Cause I
magical.
think
Oh.
magical society of.
Oh.
I was dying,
That's how I finished it, because I mean it was late too.
and we're in a public space.
Yeah, we're in a public space. Not sponsored by Panera, by the way. But yeah, that I had to do a little bit of a double take. It's a good thing I didn't say it out loud. And we won't hear either. Any other movies that we've mentioned, that we haven't mentioned, I should say?
Ooh.
The only one that I have on my list that's not on here, I'm very curious about A Quiet Place Day One, only because the first two, obviously following Emily Blunt and her family, so good.
Mhm.
Obviously, this is now the origins of what happened on day one. Different cast, and but I'm very curious if this will have some of the thrilling elements of the first two.
I look forward to this movie too. I do like the Quiet Place movies that have come out so far. They're pretty. Although I've only seen the second one like once, so I don't quite remember that one. But the first one I've seen, multiple times. I like the Quiet Place movies. So this was one that I would have added to my honorable mention movies, but there's just not enough space.
Jacob,
Jeremy?
have you seen?
Oh, good.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, like Quiet Place 2 though was I liked it, but like you said, I only watched it the one time, but I'm curious to see what day one feels like. Didn't they have a teaser for like another sequel to 28 Days Later? Is that this year also?
There is. I did see that also. I don't know if that's this year. I haven't seen it on um I haven't seen it on like any lists of movies that are coming out. So I'm not quite sure if that is coming out this year or not.
Because I don't know. I guess we'll see. I think
Yeah.
the cast looks good. It's a different director. It's not John Krasinski because he's doing If, right? Because
Yes.
there's
Right.
If and then there's Imaginary Friends. Imaginary
Uh-huh.
Friends is the horror
Much different.
movie.
Yes.
And if
If
action, yeah, it's definitely not a horror movie, but it also stands for imaginary friend,
It does.
coincidentally.
and it has Ryan Reynolds.
Yes, and it also has Jim, Randall Park from The Office.
There we go.
Right.
Just kidding.
Another one here that I see that looks pretty interesting is Horizon, an American Saga, with apparently Kevin Costner is the lead on that one, and it's basically follows the expansion of the American West before and after the Civil War.
Mhm.
And it's actually coming
Ooh.
out in two different parts. One, and those parts are like separated by like what 2-3 months. So it's not like your standard movie separation between two parts, but I think it's interesting. It'll be interesting. It seems like a cowboyish movie because they're kind of on the western frontier, especially during a time period of the Civil War. I think that'd be pretty cool. Pretty fun watch.
Yeah, that sounds like an interesting one. I haven't seen Kevin Costner in a movie in a while.
Yeah.
He should be in Twisters. Reprised as
He
well
should.
as Jonathan Kent.
Oh,
Jan said, "I'm so excited for If." Is If a musical, by the way? Do you guys know? Does Ryan Reynolds sing?
I don't.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
And there are a few cast members from The Office actually.
Yes, there are,
There are.
including Michael Gary
Mhm.
Scott.
Oh, you guys aren't excited
MGS.
for another Steve Carell movie? Uh, S- Despicable Me 4?
Is that actually coming out?
We're
Yeah.
going to the moon.
There was a trailer.
Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah. There was a teaser trailer that just recently came out.
Another animated movie I'm looking forward to though, Kung Fu Panda 4.
Oh yeah, it's coming out this week, isn't it?
Skadoosh. Is it this week?
I want to say
I
it's
think
this
it is
week.
this week.
Yeah. So, like literally
Yeah.
tomorrow. Actually, I was like, wait a minute, I forgot it's Wednesday.
I might have to go check it out on opening night.
Yes.
Yeah. I also want to remind our live audience. We kind of just jumped straight into the comments already, but
Yeah.
if you have any last minute comments, put them in now. Especially if you're anticipating any movies like Craven the Hunter or something.
Or-
I think that's the movie that will get Sony back on track.
Or Venom 3.
Or Venom 3. It's like those movies, movie of the year.
Yeah.
That and Madam Web.
Ugh, yuck.
Wow, three Sonyverse movies in 1 year, huh?
I know. My goodness. It's ironic that we're only getting one MCU movie.
They're like just flooding the superhero genre with like crap right now.
I know. I feel
Even
like
though I
they.
love the Venom movies.
Oh, yeah.
Not love, I enjoy them.
Yeah, they're all right. Oh, here. I have one that's coming up pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know I've talked to Jeremy about this, but are you guys planning on possibly checking out the new Ghostbusters movie, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire?
You already know my thoughts, Ken.
Yes.
I
Okay.
probably won't be.
Have you watched any of the Ghostbusters movies?
No,
Okay.
I haven't. But I've listened to the song.
Mm,
I know
okay.
the song very well.
Okay.
Good song.
I know, Jeremy, you have also not watched any of the movies.
I have not.
I think that's where it lies. For me, I haven't watched one in decades because the last one that I saw was the second Ghostbusters. I've seen the first two, but I haven't seen the, I guess the female-led cast with, was it Melissa McCarthy that came out within the last 7 or 8 years or whatever it's been. Nor have I watched the one before this next one that's about to come out, the one with Mike. Mike.
Oh, here. Sean also says, isn't there a movie in the John Wick universe coming out this year starring Ana de Armas? No. Unfortunately,
Oh.
Ballerina, if you want to look that up, is actually got pushed from June of this year to June of 2025. Yeah, I would have put that actually on my most anticipated, but unfortunately not this year. He said, also, forgot Craven and Venom were a thing. Yeah.
Wait, are they a thing though? Yeah, they're coming out with a release, but are they really a thing?
Well, Craven was supposed to come out last year, but
Yeah.
the strikes delayed it to this year.
Can't they delay it to
Right.
never?
I know, right? It's like how could DC cancel a movie like Batgirl, but Sony doesn't cancel Madam Web? At least in Batgirl, you would have had Michael Keaton as Batman in it.
That's true.
And who knows? Maybe I was hoping for Arnold to come back.
It's crazy to me that both Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney are just trashing their own movie. And they're not even being shy about it.
They're not at all.
Oh my god. That joke from SNL from Sydney Sweeney was everything. It was so good.
Wait, is
I
there
mean,
a
that's
Lord
better
of the
press.
Rings movie coming out this year?
Animated. Supposedly.
Oh, okay.
Supposedly.
Okay.
Did you see that there's a Wicked movie coming out, Ken?
Yes,
Ever
I
since
saw.
we saw Wicked.
Yeah, I saw the. There's a teaser trailer actually.
Yeah. I saw the teaser. And who's Galinda?
Oh, let's go
It's,
see.
I think it's Ariana Grande, right? But I don't know who's playing who's in it?
Cynthia.
Ah.
How do you say her name?
Cynthia.
Erivo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm looking
So,
at
Michelle Yeoh's in it.
Oh, really?
And Jeff Goldblum. Obviously, we're just reading off of the IMDb cast list, so take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's like in my top 10 or 15, but now that Jeremy and I in our hiatus, we actually got to watch it on Broadway, which was pretty cool, and the performances were amazing. I'd probably go see it during the holidays season if it does hold to that holiday season 2024 release
Yeah.
date.
Right
now it's
So
still
one that
oh, go ahead.
one that I saw in this list is Den of Thieves 2.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen the first Den of Thieves.
I have.
I love that movie. But yeah, I just found out they're coming out with the number 2, so I definitely am looking forward to that.
Yeah. Spoiler alert for Den of Thieves Part 1, but what's his not Russell Crowe? What's his name? Gerard Butler.
You're right.
Kills Master Chief.
Gerard Butler.
Pablo Schreiber. So I don't know what I didn't expect that movie to get a
Neither
sequel.
did I.
It was that
thought it
movie
was
came
kind
out
of like a-
2012 or something.
Yeah, it came out a while ago. But I mean, we got what? Twisters. We
Yeah.
got Gladiator 2, Den of Thieves 2.
Yeah, I mean, also Gerard Butler usually makes these kind of like lower budget films.
Yeah,
Could be hit or miss. Like Greenland.
That was good.
that was good. I enjoyed it. I feel like Gerard Butler's movies they're obviously like they're never like great production quality, but I feel
pretty
like they're still
entertaining.
pretty fun to watch. Yeah, definitely.
What was that
Like
recent one that took place in the Philippines?
Oh,
I
know there was a-
Yeah, there was a plane.
Yeah, I think no, it was called Plane.
it's called.
was it?
Plane,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
yeah.
I don't even know. I think I just watched it on a whim. I just didn't.
That's the
know
one where
what
they
it was
crashed,
called.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It reminded me a little bit of Lost, but a
I think
TFC
there
movie.
was-
Yeah.
I think there was another Gerard Butler film that came out last year. Yes, it is Gerard Butler. Kandahar.
Kandahar, was that good?
It was pretty good. I liked it. It was the action was good. Action was solid. I mean, it's Gerard Butler. I feel like, any of his action movies are like pretty good.
Mhm.
But I think it was a fun watch. I definitely recommend it.
Yeah,
I think it's on
weird.
Hulu.
Gerard Butler. He like I feel like he comes out with those movies that they're just kind of fun to watch, but you don't really
Yeah.
remember them for a long time.
Right. Except for like,
Den of
what's your
Thieves.
most notable Gerard Butler movie? Probably 300.
Oh, I like not White House Down. Olympus Has Fallen.
Olympus Has
Yeah,
Fallen.
that was pretty
Olympus
good,
Has
too.
Fallen. London Has Fallen. Angel Has Fallen. Which one?
The first one.
Second one was okay. It's just obviously not as good as the
Yeah.
first one. But I
Ooh,
was
another
entertained.
good Gerard Butler movie, Hunter Killer. You haven't seen that one.
I haven't
have
seen
not
that
seen
one
that
yet.
one.
That's a submarine one. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I've seen Last Seen Alive. That was on Netflix for a bit.
Really?
That was that was very much a Netflix level Gerard Butler movie. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess it's not Den of Thieves.
What do you guys think of? I think I mentioned this to Jeremy offline, only because he was surprised that I was thinking about this movie. But we have a movie that's coming up pretty soon. It's called where's Arthur the King?
Oh, Marky Mark
Marky Mark and
Really?
Andy Dog.
and Bear Grylls is in it apparently.
Yes.
Arthur
for,
the
for all
King.
those animals, animal like lovers, I should say, animal lovers. I feel like that movie has a chance to make people cry. I'm already calling it right now.
Definitely.
I want to
looks
see that
like
movie
it.
eventually.
Yeah. Simu Liu's also in it. Natalie Emmanuel from Game of
Mhm.
Thrones and the Fast movies also in it.
Do you
Got
guys
pretty
have
good
a
class.
favorite Mark Wahlberg movie?
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I
Or
might have to look up a
top
list.
2 or top 3 or something?
Oh.
Oh man.
And we can't say The Departed, Ken,
Okay.
because he was.
He was just
I'm
a side
putting that
character.
because he's pretty much just a side character.
Okay. Let me look at his IMDb.
Yeah, I'm looking too.
Because for me, I want to say it's gonna go, The Fighter.
Okay.
What's the Lone Survivor?
Okay.
Mm.
And I really like Patriots Day. And Ted.
Oh,
It's
he's funny in Ted. Oh my god.
the first Ted, to be specific.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched the Ted TV show?
Not yet.
It's actually pretty funny. I watched all the episodes already.
Oh, really? How many episodes
Yeah.
are there?
It's like 8 or 10. All right, so
Okay.
top 3 in no particular order.
Yeah.
Italian Job.
Ooh, that one's
Oh,
good.
that's a good one. Okay, I might have to go like 5 of these. So Italian Job, Invincible,
Oh.
Shooter,
Oh, Shooter's a good one. Hey, dude.
Lone Survivor,
Okay.
and then I would say
No Basketball
Hmm.
Diaries.
Basketball Diaries.
Boogie Nights.
Oh, I
Nights.
don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
memorable.
the original Planet of the Apes.
Oh shoot, I forgot he was in that.
I did like what was it called? Where is it?
Which one?
Deepwater Horizon.
Oh, Deepwater Horizon.
Yeah, that one was pretty. I enjoyed that one.
Let's see.
Did you like Mile 22?
I expected it to be much better,
Yeah.
especially with the Maggie from The Walking Dead. I was like, oh, this is gonna be good.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
thank you.
Went and watched the movie. I was like, oh.
I think
Ooh,
underrated,
you know what?
though, Instant Family.
Underrated Instant Fan. Oh, that was pretty good. The one that came out on Apple TV.
No, that's Family Plan.
That's
Oh,
I'm looking at it right now. I was like,
Yeah.
what was that movie that just came out? That was entertaining.
that was entertaining. I haven't seen Instant Family.
it's probably better than Family Plan, which I haven't seen Family Plan, but Instant Family.
Daddy's Home 2. That is a great one.
I haven't seen
I
it
l-
yet.
I
know
love
you
that
like
movie. It's like-
referencing it.
It's like my go-to Christmas movie.
Whoa. Oh, I forgot he was in like 2 Transformers movies. No,
Yes, he
no
was.
Transformers.
Was he though?
He was in the first one. Second one. I don't know. I fell asleep on the second one.
Age of Extinction.
Pain and Gain.
Yeah, Pain and Gain's
Oh
a
yeah, Pain and
huge
Gain.
one.
Forgot about that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'm
the
aware.
Fighter's also great.
This just became a podcast about Mark Wahlberg all of a sudden.
All of a
Oh,
sudden.
have you guys seen Fear? He was pretty good in Fear.
I did not see Fear.
Psychotic boyfriend.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Back in 1996 too. So he was just coming off of the Funky Bunch. But yeah,
Breaking that
ta-
stereotype.
yeah. To answer your question, Basketball Diaries is up there. Italian Job and The Other Guys.
The other
The other guy
guys.
is good.
Forgot about that.
Oh, and The Fighter. Duh, I forgot about The Fighter. He was really good as Mickey Ward.
Yeah,
That was a great movie.
man. I
Uncharted.
just remember
There's
him
so
being
many
so
good
surprised
movies.
about Will Ferrell's wife in the movie,
Oh.
played by Eva Mendes. Also, if you want to tie it all the way back to Ryan Gosling's real life wife, tie it back
Yep.
all the way to Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
It is
Yes.
Eva Mendez's birthday today.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go. Sean Tierra saying, I was expecting one of y'all to say Uncharted.
No, because I want to say Uncharted 2. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's going to be Uncharted 2. It's going to be like Dune, where Uncharted 1 was like the not good one.
Yeah.
2001 Planet of the Apes. I haven't seen it. Who knows if
I think
that
I've seen
was-
bits and pieces of it. And, but yeah,
I like
you
the
guys.
James Franco one.
Oh, yeah. Caesar.
Caesar. All right.
Caesar.
I think we exhausted the Mark Wahlbergness of this podcast, so I'll cut it there, guys. But Sean also said Daddy's Home 2 is the best.
It is amazing.
Let's leave off one last thing for our listeners and viewers. Jacob, is there anything that you want to kind of like recommend to the audience as we sign off for tonight?
Yeah, this is something that came out a while ago, but I just got around to watching it. I just finished Andor,
Oh, I
and
still need to finish that. I
it's
hear
so
it's good. Yeah.
It's really good. How much have you watched?
Half of one episode.
Okay. Yeah, so like the first 3 episodes really like,
I
like
fell-
high
I-
pace.
I've fallen asleep 3 times to the first half of the first episode.
I can see that. But like then it starts to move on a little more, and I really enjoyed it. Especially, leading up to, I hope they have a season 2 of it, but I'm not sure.
I think there's going to be a season 2. Well,
I think that's what I
Jan
heard too.
agrees with you. She says yes, Andor, which I need to see Andor then, because
You do.
I remember the other day we were talking about it, and you said the tone is like set in that first episode.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give at least the first episode, because if
Yeah.
Ken fell asleep 3 times to the first episode, and then you love the first episode, it's like, oh, I guess we'll see where I fall in on that show.
Yeah.
Oh no, I expect to like it. I just need to be awake when I actually watch it.
Yeah.
So
That's like me and Moon Knight. I
Yes.
keep falling asleep during Moon Knight, but I know it's good. I know I'll like it if I just stay awake and watch it.
well, to stay on the Star Wars thing, I think Star Wars, I want to say it's called Acolyte, is coming out in June. There's
Right.
another Star Wars
Oh,
show that's coming out. June is looking stacked for TV, by the way, because The Boys season 4,
The
The
Bear, season 3.
and House of the Dragon season 2.
Yes.
All in June.
All in
Don't
June.
bug me. I'm not going out starting June, July, and August because I'm going to be watching TV.
Seriously.
Oh, man. Go ahead.
yeah.
Jeremy.
Jan was saying I was on the edge of my seat, and I honestly listened to the theme song a few times a week. So is the theme? Who does the theme song, Jake? Do you know? I know you listen
don't know.
sometimes.
Let me see.
It's not John Williams.
Oh, that would have been
Yeah.
sick if he's composing for TV.
Yeah,
Oh.
or at
It's,
least Ludwig Göransson. You know.
I believe Nicholas Britell. I'm not sure who that is.
I'm not sure who that is either. Now I'm gonna, you know what, Jan J, I'm going to listen for the theme song when I eventually make it past that first half of episode 1.
Yes.
Yeah. How many episodes is Andor?
I think it's 12. Might be 10. I think it's 12.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I actually enjoyed Diego Luna as an actor in Rogue One, so
Mhm.
I just need to just make it past the what do you call it, story building.
I think so. It's a good watch. I'd say it's worth it, especially with the quality of Disney Plus shows that have been coming out. You're just kind of like, it's like hit or miss. I think this one's a hit.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Ooh. How about you, Ken?
Oh,
Your one thing.
My one last thing is actually a two last things, only because, I mean, if you listen to part 1, we were talking about Dune part 2, which was directed by Denis Villeneuve, and I wanted to kind of do a double feature with Denis Villeneuve. I'm gonna go back to 2017. I watched Blade Runner 2049 without having to watch the first one. And so I was completely lost, fell asleep, and didn't appreciate 2049. So I took the initiative and watched Blade Runner 1982 for the very first time. Yeah, it kind of looked a little bit dated, but I was actually amazed by the visuals of how LA looked, supposedly in that world in 2019, of what they thought 2019 would look like. But once I actually understood everything that was going on in Blade Runner 1982, I then watched 2049 and was blown away at how good 2049 was. So 2049 is streaming now on Hulu. So that is my one last thing, my recommendation. Denis Villeneuve is so good. I think I'm gonna go on a kind of a binge with his stuff.
Yeah, I recommend
I watch?
Prisoners.
Yes, that's actually gonna be my next
that's
one.
also Villeneuve.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably one of my favorites of his.
Yeah, me too.
With Jake
Me too.
Gyllenhaal.
Yep.
yeah.
And
And Hugh
Wolverine.
Jackman.
And Hugh
Uh-huh.
Jackman. Yeah. So
And,
that's actually next on my list.
and
Terrence
Terrence
Howard.
Yeah. Yeah, next time, baby.
Baby, where's my daughter, baby? Where's baby?
But yeah, I'm gonna be on that binge watch for Denis Villeneuve.
Can I watch
Yeah.
2049 before watching
No,
the other one?
Damn.
you need.
Okay.
I think you need to watch the first one.
Okay.
Trust me.
That's exactly my question. I was like, can I skip the older one first?
The older one, although it's somehow a little bit clunky, it still actually holds in terms of like how it makes you think in terms of overall, like how you think of humanity.
Okay.
Okay.
It gave me Westworld vibes.
Do you know where that's streaming? The first one?
It's not. I rented it.
Damn.
Oh.
Okay. Great. We have some homework.
But yeah, and Ryan Gosling, it all comes back to Just Ken. He was really good in this. Oh, and no, I don't want to spoil it. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was gonna spoil the very beginning of 2049, but I won't.
Don't do it. Okay. My recommendation for this week, because I was kind of like not well. No, I was kind of sick with the cold over this past weekend, and I wanted to start another show that I'll probably bring up next week when I talk about it. But since I was a little sick, I wanted to kind of calm myself with some comedy. I started watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine on Netflix because it's normally on Peacock. I think there's 8 seasons, and I've watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine before. In terms of like the first few seasons, so it's nice to kind of go back into that comedy realm. Unfortunately, only 4 seasons on Netflix. Just put all 8 and let me binge that.
Did you watch? Because I only know of that one Backstreet Boys interrogate scene. Have you gotten to that episode yet?
No, I have not gone to that episode yet. So, but the show lives up, I think, to
Yeah,
that clip.
Oh, okay.
it does.
Now
It's
number
just
5.
like that the entire time. He's like,
That's the little singing you'll get from me today.
it's like it's number 1. It's like, oh, I forgot why we were here.
Number 5. Number 5 is the one.
Such a good clip and such a good show. I recommend it.
Yeah, Andy Sandberg seems like he's hella funny in that.
Also, he was the Scarlet Spider, I think, in
Yeah.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Mhm.
Sean said, Ken is not one of us. Blade Runner 2049. We all discovered our inner Officer K, our inner Ryan Gosling. The first one was so good. Okay.
Yeah. So
First Blade Runner.
it's on IMDb, but Ryan Gosling plays a character named K. Literally the letter K.
Yeah. That's funny.
I know, because he's just Ken.
Yeah.
I made that connection too. I was like, oh shoot, he is just Ken.
It all ties back together.
Yeah, it all goes back to Barbie, really.
All right. Well, guys, thank you. And thank you to all the listeners and watchers out there for joining us on this live stream and the second half of this podcast, The Soup du Jour. I hope you had your fill. Jacob, thank you for joining us on Dune Part 2 and here on The Soup du Jour.
Listen, Al Gaib.
I'm glad that the last time we had a guest for the other Dune movie, he was like, Joash was pretty disappointed that I didn't like the movie. So he's like, oh, we'll watch it, or he'll be on the podcast again. And now I actually like the movie, and he's not here. So
Yeah.
here you are, Jacob. Thank you for joining us.
Of course. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, we hope to have you soon. If there's any other movies that
Twisters.
Twisters. Yeah, it's like right away. We gotta get you on Twisters. That's like your number 1. So
Yeah.
we'll see if it, and we'll rewatch Twister before that.
Right.
That'll be our homework between now and July or whenever that's coming out.
Yeah, July. They better not push that movie.
I swear, if they do,
I doubt they will.
I feel like they don't need to. So
Yeah, it could take on Deadpool. No, I'm just kidding.
This is the year of Glenn Powell.
It
It
really
is.
is.
the
All
past 2
right.
years,
That's true.
Yeah, seriously.
we're in the Glenn Powell era now.
Actually, 3 years if
Yeah.
you're tossing in Maverick.
Yeah, let's keep this this Glenn Powell Twister rolling.
I like it.
All right, guys. Thank you. Good night to everyone out there. We'll see you next time. Well, we'll see you in 1 week, right, Ken?
That's kind of iffy for me. Maybe in 7 days. Okay, fine. 1 week.
Okay, sounds good. We'll see you in 1 week on The Real.